Hey Mandy, good morning. Hey Jen Nichols, how are you? Hey Pretty Eyes LeBron, how are you? Are you, Mandy, you're in Australia. Maybe it is morning for you. Actually, now that I think about it, I think you might be in Australia. Is that correct? Is that correct? Just sharing out to groups really quick. How are you guys? Some of these groups won't get this video live, but oh well. You just have to help. Have to happen. Or have to be that way. What am I doing? So, trying to do. Liking my own videos. How vain. Um, oh my god, double hip replacement? For those of you that can't see, Jen Nichols is typing in on YouTube saying that she's stressed her husband has double hip replacement in the AM. Oh my gosh, that's a lot, Jen. I hope you're going to be okay. I think you will be. Hi, Lisa. It's hot there, I would imagine. I'm so glad that the fires are ended, correct? In Australia, that I saw reports of the rain and everything, and I haven't seen much since then. It's so funny how all of Australia can be in such bad state, and then it just all went silent after I saw the reports of the rain. It's like nobody's talking about it. You see very little about it after the fact. Hey, Karma Grace, how are you? Hey, Jesse, blah blah. Of course, I will think that happy thoughts for you, Jen Nichols. Of course, thoughts of healing and love abound. Thoughts of strength and power for your husband. Thoughts of virility, like Viking energy. We're just gonna send him a little bit of Viking energy. He'll be swiveling those hips in no time. And probably walking in the house with a battle axe. But whatever. I'll take what I can get! No, he'll be okay. And it is true. Positive thoughts are really the key to all of this. Hopefully he can stay positive and um, go through his surgeries, with ease. Heal up really well. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Let me just get this out. Get this out! It's a little warm. So this is the How I Can Help You hour. And I am here to help you guys in whatever way you guys request. Not whatever way you request. It's not like Oprah where you get a car and you get a car and you get a car. But it is an opportunity for me to sort of give help wherever people feel that it's needed. Maybe they feel like they're not getting the answers that they need or whatever. Not that I have your answers more so than you do. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that this is my opportunity to pull cards for people if they sees fit. If they wanted a little bit of, guidance on something. I am going to say this, though. This is a worry-free zone, guys. So, no heavy stuff. If you can avoid it, that would be great. Nothing too serious, ideally. We want to keep the energy light. We want to keep the vibe up. We want to be having fun. And all of this will help. This energy, this lightness, this funness will help us with whatever we might be dealing with it, maybe heavier. But we want to get into that lighter, more fun vibration versus being too worked up about, what we can't control. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, then just slap me and call me Sally. But buy me dinner first. Alright, let me plug in my phone and put on some music. Hey, Arthur King Kyonyo, what's up? That's interesting because I have a cat named Arthur, and Arthur Finley, and I call him King Arthur. And your name is Arthur King Kyonyo. So that's kind of cool. Arthur King, you can get a card because I just like your friggin' name. But let me put on some music first. Let me slip into something a little bit more comfortable. Hold on. Okay, what the fuck am I doing? Alright, there's a little muzak. I think maybe needs the heat off. Maybe not no heat, just it's a little warm. I put on the heater. I'm such an old lady, I don't think I need it. Like, surprise there. Let me find some music. Music to read by. Let me find something that's not going to get me clocked or in any trouble or have Facebook up in arms going, you're stealing somebody's music. Oh my god, the music, the universal language of love and happiness. Don't use it. As Madonna said, music makes the people come together. Yeah. Alright, let's do shit. We'll do this one. It's also like mung mung mung, but whatever, we'll go with it. It's pretty, this one. I like this one. Alright, so we've got King Arthur. We're gonna do a card for King Arthur. Just because I dig his name and it stood out. Hey, Michelle Haywood. Hey, Kim Kuchler. Hey, Gemma. Not sure what that's about. Hey, Angel Abels. Hey, Megan Miller. Hey, Tammy Sylvester. I see you. Hi, Kristen Ravello. How is you, girl? I think I found my new favorite thing, Dan going beat poet, reading Madonic lyrics. Totally, right? Music makes the people come together. Yeah. Alright, what the fuck am I doing? I'm gonna get this together and you guys get a full hour, so don't worry. Even though I'm not like fully pulled together, you guys will get a full hour. I'm watching the clock and it's 6:09, don't worry. I will deduct the 9 minutes of mishap, like Aunt Clara fucking bewitched weird realness that I'm giving you, and still give you an hour of service. Because that's why you're all here, you dirty pigs. Y'all want service! Alright. I can't find my little notepad that I normally write everybody's names on. What? It's not in here. Did I move it? Maybe the fucking cats took it. I bet you those cats are like, took it or something. So I didn't get to the air signs today. I'm talking to you guys. I had to try and do the drawing of my tetrahedron and send it. Got a lot of work done today, people. I had to send it to Fiverr because I'm trying to get this video drawn up for you guys for the 3 breaths that we do, right? Where we light it up. And you know what? Speaking of lighting it up, let's do that right fucking now. We never do the 3 breaths at night, and I think it's time, right? So let's do that. Let's get centered again. Let's do it twice in one day and see what happens. Who knows? Maybe our head explodes, our asshole falls off. Who knows? But let's see, right? So join me right now. For those of you that don't know, that are new, we take 3 breaths around here before each video. Not each video, but like the morning video, just to start our day off, right? But I'm going to do this right now just to show you guys that you guys can do this whenever you want, right? So we're going to breathe in through the nose, deep into the belly. We're going to hold that breath for a moment. We're going to give thanks to the mind on the first, or the body on the first breath, the mind on the second breath, the spirit on the third, children. We want to see them coming into communion with one another. Peace, harmony, love. Love, people. We want love. We want high vibration. We want to emanate that light from our heart chakra out, not only throughout our body, and I'm talking like cellularly, through our organs, through our bloodstream, through our bones, right? I mean, I feel that light just burn, not burn like in a bad way, but just like emanate through every little piece of our being, right? So let's take in that first breath in, and we're going to start to visualize the emanation of that light coming out of our heart chakra, which is in the center of our chest, right? And it's going to spread out and hit every cell, every tissue, every bone, all the way throughout our entire body as we grow that light, okay? So join me in that really quick. So, let's plant our feet firmly on the ground. Let's drop a grounding cord from the base of our spine or through our feet down into the center of the planet. She will always accept our grounding cord. She is our mother, hence the name Mother Earth. She wants to nurture us and love us, and we deserve to do the same for ourselves and her in the process. So make this connection, just allow it to be, know that it's happening, right? Move your body around, get into a comfortable position, feel your grounding cord go down, and inhale with me through the nose, breathing in positive energy, sucking it in with intention. Sucking it in like it's a big slice of Domino's pizza, you hungry bitch. Sorry, I don't know where that came from, but that's what I'm having for dinner, damn it. All right, so let's inhale. Enjoy me now, please. Hold. Adjust your chakras. Just know that they're adjusting to optimum, whatever we need for right now in this present moment. Rub that heart chakra, emanate that light, spread it out through the body. Release that breath, releasing any tension, any disease, dis-ease, anything that doesn't work for us anymore, anything somebody said to us that pissed us off, whatever, just let it go, Becky. And giving thanks to the body, our densest form and vibration, where our bones, our skin, our blood, all of it just resides, right? But all of this physicality of us has carried us thus far and done its best possible job to get us to this point. So we want to give gratitude to our body at every level, setting aside any judgments we've had about it, setting aside any sort of disagreements we've had with it, any struggles, any preconceived notions, anything anybody else has ever told us about our body. Let that go down our grounding cord and just give our body love in this moment. Just say, I love you, body. Thank you so very much for being you. I created you. You are the culmination of all of my creation, and I love you. Ooh, that feels good. Makes me a little emotional when I do that, but as I do it, every time I do it, it gets a little bit better, a little bit easier, and a little bit realer, right? All right, let's take in that second breath, deep in through the nose, deep into the belly. Inhale with me now. Hold. Adjust those chakras, just allow them to adjust. Know that they're perfect, not perfectly placing, but just placing themselves in ease and grace. Emanate that light to the outer edges of the body, to the tips of the fingers, the tops of your head, the bottoms of your feet. Release that breath, letting go of any other heaviness, any other disconnection, anything we don't need that we can deal with later, right? We can always pick it back up if we want to. Giving thanks to the mind. Now, this one's a tricky one because it's got the ego, and the ego can be a real pain in the ass sometimes. But you know what? We want to thank our ego today, too. Our ego sort of keeps us, getting in the shower every day. At the very minimum, that's what our ego can do for us. But let's just say thanks to the ego, thank you to the mind for all of the work that it does, for all of the worry, for all of the struggle, for all of the joy, the tears, all of it. Like all of this, the stuff that we can think about, right? Like just giving gratitude to that. Light up that side of your pyramid. Light up the body side. When we give thanks, those sides light up automatically. See them as equal to one another and in support of one another within that pyramid in front of you. Right? I forgot to mention the pyramid on the body, but you guys know what I'm talking about. For those of you that are new, there's a video coming, so deal with it. Let's take in a third breath and really take this breath in with intention. You deserve this breath. This is your life force. You deserve it. So inhale. Hold. Allow any last minute adjustments to the chakras. Emanate that light out past the body to the outer edges of the aura, all the way around you, above and below you. Allow it to burn off anything that doesn't belong to you or you no longer need in your space. Release that breath. Really letting go of anything and everything you no longer need down your grounding cords or out with that breath. Giving thanks to the spirit. This is the third side of that three-sided pyramid. Saying hello to the spirit for all that it does for us, both known and unknown, for the power, the beauty, and the capability that is within our spirit that we haven't even fully tapped yet. Just acknowledging that, imagining what that could be and how beautiful that is, and saying, giving gratitude to that, seeing that spirit side of the pyramid light up in support, ease, grace, harmony with the body and the mind. This is you guys. This is your light. This is my light. This is the combination of those three aspects of my being that at times maybe I haven't trusted or maybe I've judged, but at this very moment, I'm allowing it to be what it is in this present moment. and finding appreciation for that, the magnitude of that, the beauty of that. All of this is part of the creation of the spirit, right? So as we see that pyramid light up, or that triangle, if you can't visualize like a pyramid, as we see the sides of that triangle or this pyramid light up, we want to see a light in the center of that pyramid. This is the light of the emotions. And that's also the floor of the pyramid, the triangle that all the three walls come up from, right? And that lights up. And this is giving thanks to the emotional body, to the emotions that sometimes we run from, sometimes we fear, sometimes they overwhelm us, but they really are the way that the mind, the body, and the spirit can communicate with each other and with us in our day-to-day life. They're not more powerful than us, they're not scary, they're not any of those things that we might feel from time to time. Just acknowledge that light as part of the totality of us, giving appreciation and love to that emotional body. And as we see this beautiful pyramid or triangle, whatever you're looking at, all lit up, spin it a little bit. Send love to it. This is your light. Shine it. I'm hearing that song, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Think about that, guys. Now I like to bring my pyramid in, and I bring it back into my heart, and I set it in my heart. I then set it in my throat, my third eye, my crown, in my solar plexus, in my second chakra, and in my base chakra. And from there, light emanates from those chakras, right? The energy and the light emanates from all of those energy systems, all of those energy centers within my body. We can even put little pyramids in our hands and our feet, and the chakras that exist there. Take a few breaths here. And here comes the cat. Great, I need my leg clawed right about now. Why are you... Spenny. I think Spenny just likes the light. Alright, and when you're ready, open your eyes. Alright. Well, it's nice to see that Kelly Barbecue and Fuego was doing typing while we were doing our little light exercise. We know who's paying attention now, Kelly. Alright. Svenny, you best. Alright, Svenny's here. That's always a good sign. It's a party when Sven shows up. Alright, so, hi, Gab, Renee, Michelle, how are you? So, let's get into this. Did you like that, Kristen? I was getting myself a little tail. Okay, water's always good. Hey, Karma Grace, how are you? You're welcome, Karma Grace. That was all you, girl. You did all that work. I just talked you through it. That's your pyramid. That's your triangle. That's your light. That was you connecting to yourself and just acknowledging that light that is within you and saying, having a little, opening the door. You did all the work. So thank you for being here and doing that. Yay, Jesse Blah Blah. Jesse Blah Blah, if I could find my freaking pad, I would write this down. So I've got King Arthur. I'm going to do, since Jesse Blah Blah is a new subscriber, I'm going to add her because she just jumped out at me. She's over on YouTube. You guys, please share out this stream right now, if you don't mind. I would love to get some new folks to the page. The cat now just left. He's done with me. He's over it. Kelly says, I'm always ahead of you with the breathing exercise. Well, girl, you were typing a whole novel there, so, I mean, this chick can multitask. She can not only manage all the aspects of light within her body, she can also type 35 words per minute. Steno Pool spiritualist, I'm just saying. Alright, so, Kim Kuchler would like a card? Okay, Kim. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that, Kim. So I am in rare form tonight. I can't see who said that, but I am. I feel kind of good. I don't know. I got a lot of stuff done today. I need to get started. So we're at 6:22, so we'll go till 7:22, but I need to get started. But I got a lot of stuff done today. Like I started getting this video together for you guys, which I'm excited about. I'm hoping that this graphic designer that I've hired is gonna be able to do it for me. I did it off of Fiverr, so we'll see. So that was been interesting. I had to send her my ideas, and I actually ended up sending her a video of myself talking about it. She's from India, but she speaks English, so I think she'll understand the video. I hope, and so we'll start to see those videos come back to me, and then I'm going to try and incorporate them into some sort of a video for you guys, so that you guys can see the visual that I'm talking about, to better help you guys to see it. And if ideally I could get it up into like a little window up here in my YouTube morning videos, just a little diagram of it, be great. So professional. It looks so good. So Karma Grace would love a card. Okay, Karma Grace. Because I know I haven't given you one with that name, girl. And you've got Karma and Grace. And around here we have a joke about the two old girlfriends, Grace and Ease. They're like two old ladies. They're the energies of two old ladies that have all that wisdom and know what they know. They've been around on the planet for a long time. It's kind of my joke. So when we call in the energy of Grace and Ease, we want to call in the knowledge of that, like sort of that vibe of a wise old woman, right? Where she's seen it all, she's done it all, she's not really shook by much. And that's what Grace and Ease are to me, is when we can kind of settle into that vibe of being in Grace and Ease. We got Grace on one side and Ease on the other. So your name being Karma Grace, you get a card. You get a card. You get a card. It is like Oprah. Oh shit! I was saying card, but it is card. I am like the Oprah of Tarot. Oh my god, where's my Stedman? Where's my private chef, people? Then I could get away from Domino's. Alright, so this is the How I Can Help You Hour. One of you, though, I think will win the Triple H reading, which will be at the end of the night. That is the kind of how we ended out. That's why it's hashtag Triple H, because it's How Help Hour, right? How Can I Help You Hour? And the HHH is a 4-card little mini reading that is your health, your heart, your health, what is it? Head, heart, and health, right? And then your overall energy, okay? So we're looking at those 3 things in 3 cards and then an energy card too, okay? So now, what am I getting that yes for, Kristen? Is it from the you get a card, you get a card, you get a card? It just occurred to me that I am kind of like, I'm Taropra! Oh my god! I am Taropra! Somebody hashtag that right now. Oh my god, that is going up. Taropra. Bitch. Oh my god. Taropra. Look at that hashtag. Taropra. That's who I am, bitch. You get a card, you get a card, you get a card. It is Taropra. Alright, anyways, so let's get started. King Arthur, are you still here, my bud? I know you've been patient, putting up with me being silly. It's now 6:25. We're going to go for an hour doing this for people. Kim, I've got you on my list. So you're up for a card. The people that I've talked to, these are the list so far. King Arthur, or Arthur King, Jesse Blah Blah, Kim Kuchler, and Karma Grace. Those people have asked for cards. So, Taropra, exactly, bitch. I am Taropra. You get a card, you get a card, you get a card. So, we all get a card! Ah! It's Taropra's favorite things! A Knight of Pendulums! Ah! Oh, okay, alright, I'm going a little overboard. And this is me minus any caffeine, guys. I'm just drinking water. It is infused with the energy of the crystals, but it's just water. And thank you for this gift, Karen. I love my water bottle. Heidi Phillips wants a card. I'll add Heidi Phillips to the list, but I'm still waiting on King Arthur. Did he leave? Oh, you are here. Okay, so Arthur King, you are here. Heidi Phillips, I'll add you there. So, Arthur Phillips, do you have a specific subject you want me to read upon without giving me any details? Just say like career, love, family. If there's something that you want specific, or if you just want general, I will do a general card for you. You're welcome, Kim. This is just kind of how to help people with, whatever they want. This is to have some fun with Taropra. Okay? So, and please subscribe, guys. Like, I can't ask you enough. For every subscription, every, like, it's all helps me to put this out there. Every share. And if you're cross-platforming, if you're a little bit of a cross-dresser, or whatever you want to call it, cross-watcher, um, and there's nothing wrong with being a cross-dresser. It's kind of fun. Everybody should try it at least once. Please go over to YouTube or vice versa from YouTube, go over to Facebook and like the business page and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you can, if you have time. Please do that. Health. All right, so let's look at health for Arthur King Gyono. I think for you I'm going to do the Whispers of Healing because you're asking for health, and this is like an oracle deck that's around healing. So, and we haven't really seen a lot of this deck. So this deck takes part in the Triple H reading that I'll give out at the end to some lucky winner. So let's see what Arthur King's health is going on here. What's going on with his health? It could be her health. I don't know. Arthur King, you could be a woman. I used to have a girlfriend that I played with when I was a little kid. I was like, I don't know, 10 or so. She was older than us. She was like this wise 16-year-old woman. Oh my God. But her name was Artie. She was rad. She was this edgy, like kind of skater chick girl. She was so cool in the neighborhood. And I was like maybe 9. I looked up to her so much. And her name was Artie. It was a man's name. She was a girl with this like short, curly blonde hair. And she was kind of tough and tomboyish. But she was like all of 16 and we thought she was so worldly. I think she even smoked. Oh my God. Hey Gladys Grant, and welcome from Michigan. Alright, so let me see what's going on for King Arthur's spirit. What does King Arthur need to know? Or Arthur King? Hey Shay Massingill, how are you? Margaret Saunders says, I hope you find me on here tonight. I am unsure of my future, but know it's important to feel hopeful. I'd love a card if you could for me about my love life, feeling lost but open to your energy. All right, Margaret Saunders, I'm going to add you. Give me 1 minute, okay? But you're going to have to wait because there's a few people on the list. Margaret Saunders. All right, so let's see what's going on for Arthur King. Jesse Blah Blah, you'll be up next. So please stay in the queue. Arthur King, Bam, Chicka Bam. Interesting, Arthur. All right, so let's look at this. So I'm gonna adjust this because it's a little bit twacked, like its father. And let's see here. Okay. Hey, Jonas Bernhagen. Jonas, are you from Sweden, Jonas? I hope you're from Sweden with a name like Jonas Bernhagen. I love it. My family's actually from Norway, so. All right, this card here is ruminate. And when I look at this, and we're asking a question about health, right? And so when I look at this card, to me, ruminating on something is just really sort of thinking about it. And the way that I want to like describe this, or the energy that I sort of get from this card, is this idea of where are we at with our health, like mentally? Where, and these are just questions that I'm posing to you, Arthur, is that like, where is it that you're sort of focusing your energy? And when I look at this, I feel like there's this beautiful girl, right? And she's playing this flute. And then out of this flute, we have all of this sort of energy emanating and like worlds being created. There's even this like, what is this, a man on a horse coming out of a seashell? Like, really, bitch? Totally. So, to me, I feel like she's in this power of creation through her thought, right? With her health. And so, when I'm looking at this card, it makes me want to ask you, or the feeling that I get looking at this card is, what are we thinking about in regards to our health right now, Arthur? And I'm asking you to pose this question to yourself. I'm not specifically looking for an answer. What I'm feeling like this card is asking you is how is it, where are your thoughts right now? Because you could be creating the sort of like the gist that I'm getting from this card is like the music of your thoughts or the idea of your thoughts is creating sort of the vibration, which music is a vibration, right? It's creating that vibration, putting it out there, and sort of creating the reality over here. And so I think that there is this idea that we want to be aware of the thoughts that we are thinking and what ruminations we have around our health. Where are we focusing our attention? Where are we focusing our intention? I say that all of the time. I do feel like this little man on the horse has significance. I feel like this is sort of help coming in from the other side in regards to your health. I know that's hard to quantify or prove, but I do, I do feel like I'm laughing because I just looked down in between my legs. My dog is looking up at me and he's just so damn cute. I do feel like this is sort of like either your guides or maybe angelic beings, that sort of thing, that are kind of trying to come through and help you from the other side. Whatever you're dealing with, this looks a little bit red and inflamed to me. So I have a feeling that you might be creating some unneeded worry or despair, disease, that sort of thing. And I want you to become aware of that. Only because when I look at this, it feels to me, she almost looks a little bit fearful. And so I feel like maybe that fear, even though she's trying to hold it or keep it her cool, like you might be trying to keep your cool in regards to your health, there might be this sort of a little bit of a disconnect between you and your health right now, where you're feeling like you can't trust it. So you're maybe worrying, even though underneath the surface you're trying to appear calm and cool and collected. That worry could be producing sort of this like idea of exacerbating whatever discomfort you might already be experiencing. I feel like this little man on this horse is trying to come back at you to soothe you or calm you down. Be careful what you're focusing on is sort of the gist of this card. Be careful of what, like, really think about what it is that's going to put you into a place in a position of healing that is true and honest. Does that make sense? Versus sort of maybe putting on a brave face for others, or putting on a brave face because you're too afraid. I think that how do I want to say this? I think that there is an opportunity here for you to kind of get closer to what's going on with your health and actually become comfortable with it in a way where, like, to me, I feel like she's keeping this distance here. And we need to almost touch base with this and look at what we are, how we're thinking about our health as an overall, how we're thinking about our success rate, how we're thinking about whether or not we can make it manageable, or are we just sort of like not dealing with it and pretending like everything's okay for fear of not having the answer. Sometimes it's okay to not have the answer. I do have to say this too, Arthur. I always preface health questions with this. I am not a doctor, so do not listen to me over any other doctor's opinions or advice. You need to listen to them before you would ever listen to me. But Tarobra says, be careful what you're looking at and how you're looking at it. There's an opportunity here for you to become brave. Also, I feel like this young girl, she's young. And so you might be in some situations that might feel a little overwhelming or a little bit like scary to you in regards to your health. But I think that she has the power, meaning you have the power, even though you may feel a little bit unsure of yourself, you do have the power. The power is the beauty of this flute and the vibration that it creates. So we need to think about what vibration are we creating around our health and start to shift our relationship to that in a way that is more comfortable for us, right? And as we do that, we cool off some of this red that's happening here and what this appears like maybe inflammation, stress, that sort of thing. We cool that off and we're able to sort of listen to outside help, be it from our spirit guides or be it from, like, say, maybe different doctors or whatever it is that starts to give us that assistance and help that we need. It is coming though. That's what I feel like. That's why that horse feels like it's racing towards the girl. It feels like it's coming, or there is outside help or assistance available to you. You need to sort of tap into it or allow it, invite it in even. I mean, I don't know how much you work with angels or if you work with sort of spirit guides, but I would call that energy in. Call in the benevolent beings that are there to help you. Right? Don't call in just anything, right? I want to be clear about that. I'm going to change cameras really quick here. You don't want to call in just anybody or anything, right? Oh, Spirit, please help me. I don't know what to do. What I think is what you want to do is you want to call in your own spirit guides or call in the power of the archangels. They will always come to assist you. Two great archangels for healing are Samuel and Raphael. So you can call them in at any point in time, and you have to just say, I open my health up to you. Please show me what I need to know. Please reveal to me what I need to do. Please, support me in feeling safe. Those sort of things are only going to exemplify your relationship to your health and help you and make you feel more safe and secure. And I think that's what you might want right now, or at least that's what I feel like this card is saying. And then ruminate on the ideas of that. Ruminate on how you can better connect with your own physical body, with your own sort of physical health. That's also with the 3 breaths that we did, right? That little meditation. When you do that again, if you do that again, light up that body side and talk to it, right? Get all 3 lit up, get the mind, the body, the spirit, and the emotions, the base lit up on that pyramid, and then go to the body side, go to the physical side. It might be something in your emotional side, though, is my feeling, that base. There might be an emotion, something that's been stored. I feel like as I'm looking at this ruminate card, there's a key there, there's something you need to ruminate on and find the answer to that is causing maybe sort of a discomfort or a worry that might be getting bigger than it needs to, let's say. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I do feel like you're in control. Like I look at this card and it feels like you're in control and you get to set the tone. The tone maybe, how do I want to say it? Like I feel like this card says to me that there might be a little bit of an unawareness as to how much you're actually in the driver's seat in this one. Is kind of the gist that I'm getting at with that young girl with the flute. It's like you've forgotten that you have the flute and you're the one sort of in charge. You've kind of gone secondary and allowed your health scenario to take charge and overwhelm and scare you. And regardless, I mean, I know that health stuff can be scary for anybody and everybody. It's scary for me too. But sometimes we have to take that power back. And we have to know that no matter what happens with our health, we're going to be okay. Even if and this is going to sound weird, I know this is going to sound weird, and you guys are going to argue this with me or get upset, but even if we're say terminally ill, we're all going to die sooner or later. Death is a part of life. The sooner that we sort of stop fearing that and live more from the present moment, from this place of sort of life and creation and excitement, ruminate on that and allow that energy in. That's what I would say. I'm not saying that you're dying, don't get me wrong. But I am saying that, death is a factor that we all face. And so it's not like, it's avoidable, right? I'm not saying you're going to die. It's not it. But I am saying that I try and be comfortable with the idea of death all of the time. To me, death is a release. To me, I'm kind of excited because, I want to pay fucking bills. I gotta make sure that everybody in my life is in order in the sense that I want my dogs and everybody's safe and passed on to the next realm and all of that. But then when my time comes, my time comes. If it's due to illness or sickness, I gotta make the most of that time that I have, right? That's kind of my feeling. So when I look at this card ruminate, it makes me think of that. Ruminate on sort of where your thoughts are at, where your connection is to whatever's going on with your health. Are you helping it or are you hindering it? Are you fearing it or are you embracing it? Are you connecting to it and asking, hey, what's going on? Why am I feeling maybe a little bit weird? Or why am I dealing with this? What is this here to show me? You don't have to run from it. Don't be afraid of it. Hi, Paula. How are you? Belgium. That's cool, Jonas. Is it Jonas or Jonas? I'm probably saying it wrong. I just want to... I'm Swedish. Jonas, I will add you to the card list just because I'm probably butchering your name. So, Jonas Verhagen. E-G-E-N from Belgium. Awesome, very cool. All right, so that is your card. I hope you understand, Arthur. I hope that gives you a little bit of help. You're welcome. If you have anything that you wanted to express to me privately or anything where you can, if that made sense to you, I hope it did. If I'm completely off, you can certainly send me a message at the business page and be like, bitch, you wrong. Taropra my ass. But you're welcome. Alright, there. Alright, so I'm going to put that away. And let's get on to the next person, which is Jessie Blah Blah over on YouTube. One of my YouTube viewers. Jessie Blah Blah, are you here? Ryan McGraw, hey Ryan. I'll add you to the list. I know you're new to me. I don't get very many men, so all these men that are coming in, I'm loving it. So, I love a good boy party. Just kidding. I like talking like a throaty tranny. It's really sexy. Anyways, I shouldn't say tranny. It's not appropriate anymore, but whatever. Not much is appropriate anymore these days. So Jessie Blah Blah is here. Perfect. What topic do you want me to pull your card on, Jessie? And then after Jessie, I'm going to run down the list really quick. Is Kim Kuchler, Karma Grace, Heidi Phillips, Margaret Saunders, Jonas Verhagen, and Ryan McGraw at this time. So let me get through some of these and we'll see how we got to go. I can't get too long-winded, so general is fine. All right, so we're going to give you a general for Jessie Blah Blah. I got to keep these a little bit shorter. I tend to get a little too long-winded. Sorry. For Jessie Blah Blah. Please share the video out, you guys, if you'd like. Oh my fucking God. All right, Jessie Blah Blah. Here's your card. It's funny that he's back. It's the Page of Pentacles. All right, so Jessie, I don't know if you watched the dailies with us in the mornings, but this card has been haunting us for the last few days, up until I believe today was the first day we didn't see him, but he's still fucking here. I love the Page of Pentacles, don't get me wrong, but I'm gonna just work with this for a minute here for you as a general reading. So this Page of Pentacles, we've been working on this energy for a little while as a group collectively, and I'm gonna kind of interpret the collective meaning to your card or to your life. To me, I feel like there's a lot of things that you want to grow, both like materially in your world, right? Now, when I talk about materially, I'm talking about things like finances, better relationships, stronger bonded, maybe your home life needs to be a little bit more stable, or there is that aspect to this page, right? And I feel like you have stability with the strength of this elephant. You might even be really strong-minded and be a very capable person, but I feel like there's room for growth here. And when I say this, the reason why I say this is because all of these clouds to me appear like self-doubt in this card, right? And pages always represent sort of that childlike innocence or that ability to learn, that opportunity to learn. With the Page of Pentacles, to me, this is about us opening our minds, because we see how this elephant's mind is sort of the top of its head's not drawn. I feel like this is about us opening our mind and releasing these clouds of self-doubt and going after the creation of something new, something that might feel like outside of our reach, but it's going to offer us new growth and beauty in our life, hence this flower. I feel like some of us, or the energy of this card for you, you might feel a little bit either, I don't want to say undeserving, but incapable of doing it or not having the knowledge to do it right now. You do, my dear. Keep your eyes fixated on the goal. Be willing to take the steps even if you don't know what the next step after is, right? We don't always have to have the plan. Like to me, when I look at this card, the gist of this is we don't always have to have the plan set out in front of us step by step. Although, yes, that's an easy and safe way to go about living our lives, that's not always what's going to offer us the most growth, the most opportunity, or the most learning. The page is all about learning. This is all about learning how to grow, all about learning how to stay grounded amidst sort of maybe turmoil and struggle, but also about how to build within that struggle and how to create for ourselves, to learn about our own strength, our own wisdom, and our own knowledge, and gain more of that, right? But we're going to have to take some of those steps into the dark, or, you know, stepping off the ledge, kind of, so to speak, as a metaphor, stepping off the ledge and trusting ourselves that no matter what happens, we can achieve our goal. And that's sort of the energy of this Page of Pentacles. So whatever it is that you're wanting to build, or wherever it is that you feel like you need expansion, be it finances, a better job, a more stable relationship with a significant other, whatever it is that you're working on, there's something that you're working on in that sort of material aspect. I don't want to say get out of your own way, because I don't think you're in your own way, but like, I want you to allow yourself to take the first steps in trusting sort of your own ability to create what it is you need, even if you don't know exactly how to go about getting there. It's kind of like, I feel like this elephant will guide itself, but we have to, like, if we don't take the steps, then nothing changes. We don't actually learn. If we don't have the faith in ourselves, we don't actually strengthen that. Does that make sense? And the elephant, to me, says to me that we can have this faith in ourselves. We just, maybe somewhere along the line, we forgot that we could. Right? Even though an elephant never forgets, I know that that's the phrase, but to me, that's sort of the best way to describe it, is like we're at a next level of learning here. And so we want to take that, that level or that opportunity and almost like, go balls to the wall and jump in and trust. And just trust our own information, trust our own ability and our own strength, and move forward, even if we don't know exactly the perfect, clear way to move forward. There really is, to me, I feel like this card has all of this opportunity in it. But are we willing to sort of trust that and move forward in a way where we believe in ourselves? Does that make sense? I think that you will get another one. This Page of Pentacles says to me there's something that you're learning about this material gain, right? And you need to trust yourself. And you need to go after the job that you think you probably can't get, and you will. But you have to do it in a way, like, to me, I feel like you have to release this self-doubt, and then you have to sort of step forward, even though you're feeling like you're stepping forward into the cloudiness, right? You may not see the next 3 steps, but that's okay. You can trust yourself and take the first step, and then from there take the next step, and then from there take the next step. But each time you take a step, you sort of, to me, I feel like you strengthen this page. You strengthen and educate your own ability. You see how strong you are. You see sort of what you've learned from past experience, and you start to grow new beautiful things in your life and opportunities in your life that you didn't realize were available to you because you were maybe too afraid to go after them. Okay? You're welcome, Ryan. You're very welcome to be here. Thank you. Ryan says, I'm looking to learn a thing or two as I'm new to tarots, so I will 100% tune in more. Thank you for making me feel welcome. You're very welcome to be here, Ryan. And we love to have men around, because there's been a lot of female energy around here, which is nothing wrong with that. I love my women. I'm certainly more comfortable with women, but it's always interesting when I see other men in these spiritual groups. I love it. Okay, so that's your message. Good. I'm glad it makes sense for you, Jesse. And for those of you, just so you know, Ryan, when you're hearing me talk to Jesse, I'm talking to YouTube viewers also. There's people watching over on the YouTube side, and vice versa. So I'm talking to people on Facebook. So that is your card for today, Jesse. Thank you for waiting. Kim Kuchler, you're up next. You're actually, Ryan, you're being welcomed by Jen Nichols over on YouTube. She is a very regular, wonderful woman that watches us regularly. She's also on Facebook. You'll see her on Facebook from time to time, or on YouTube. So, what is that, Mary? Can I tell you your spirit guide's name? What? Your spirit guide's name, girl? What are you talking about? Are you giving me a hard time? Why do I feel like you're fucking with me? Mary, you up to no good, girl. Alright, so, Sandra Fagan Frizzell says, yes, I feel like I needed to hear that. Here's the thing. I do believe in these nights. My intention before getting on when I talk to Spirit is to please try and reach as many people as possible. If you guys hear a message that's intended for somebody else and it makes sense to you, take that message and run with it. I believe Spirit can be opportunistic and can work through me and through the cards to reach multiple people if you're all paying attention and listening. That's why I do the morning forecast as a collective message for everyone, because I believe that not only can it work for those people that tune in live in the morning, but it also works for anybody that goes back and watches it at any point in time. I set that intention before getting on, and then I set that intention as I'm shuffling the cards. So it becomes like a timeless reading, right? Because I think that we all kind of come from the same place. And it's that same sort of source energy, and it's that same sort of, when we all go back there, we go like, oh hey, I remember you, because you're part of me. Oh my God. How are you? Anyways, hey Tammy, how are you? So, uh, uh, okay, so let me see here. Who's next? Kim Kuchler, are you with me? Can I tell you your spirit's God's name? Stony Lyman, you crazy girl. Do you like that theory, Jen? I think that theory's, that's kind of how I see it. Through a lot of through meditation, I used to see sort of like God as this big ball of light. And I used to see like how he created, this is only solely my storybook thing. The vision that, not vision, I won't call it a vision, but it's the image that I was seeing a lot in meditation years ago when I was studying at this school. Um, uh, like as if God was this giant ball of light and he would take chunks off, right? And he would sort of separate them from him, and then that light became the light of, say, my soul, or say, your soul. But he would keep taking a chunk off and setting it loose, and that became, you know, Mary. And then another piece, that's Tammy. And another piece, and that's Ducky, you know, and another piece is Lisa Vanderhelm. And then we all go off into our little light bodies, and then we create into little baby bodies, and we come onto this plane, and we're kind of trucking around, like feeling and experiencing it all through, you know, the emotions and the physicality of the body, and connecting and realizing, oh my God, I do have a spiritual side, and I do have a spirit. There is something deeper to me, and there is this awareness that I have. That awareness, I believe, when we die, we go back to that light, and we go back to that, like, sort of larger light, and we reconnect to it and sort of download the information or the experience. That's my belief. There's also the Akashic Records, right? Which is a big, the belief is that it's a big sort of almost library, vast library of all of the lifetimes of everything, everybody and everything, right? I don't know if it's everything, but I would like to think that it's everything, because I don't think that we're any more special as human beings than, say, animals or plants are. But when an animal or plant dies, it gathers its knowledge and it goes back, right? Its spirit. And I believe that animals have spirits. I believe plants have spirits. I believe crystals can have sort of energy and spirit to them. They have their own basis of knowledge. So anyways, within the Akashic Records is all of that, which is like that giant ball of light, right? Or the God essence, right? And I'm not talking about religious God, I'm just talking about this greater spiritual being that connects us all, right? So I believe we kind of hook back in, we download everything from that lifetime, and then we go, do I want to go back there? Some of us may choose to sit it out a time or two. Some of us might go, yeah, fuck yeah, I want to go back. That was crazy. I went through hell. That was a mess. But it was fun. It was interesting. It was different than here, you know? So that's how I see it. I don't know if that's correct, but that's what I see, and that's what feels correct inside of me, like at a very deep level. So I try and remember that. Now, am I always perfect? Do I always feel connected to everybody? Is there times when people piss me off and I want to rip their heads off? Completely. But am I connected to that person on some other deeper level, at the soul level? More than likely, right? So, you know, but this is also the human experience, right? So we have those filters, we have those, that individuality that we have to either meditate the fuck out of and disconnect from and understand that we are sort of connected, right? I just don't know. I mean, I imagine it's possible to live on this plane with that awareness, but I think that it requires a lot of work, a lot of, you know, meditation, and a lot of, to get rid of the filter of the self and the ego and all of that. And I don't know, you know, I'll get to Kim Kuchler in a minute, and I'm going to let this run more than an hour because I'm talking a lot. But my concept too with that is that I don't know that we're supposed to be free of the ego and the self, right? I think that that's part of the filter that's here for a reason on this plane. I think that as we evolve, that may dissipate, and that may evolve too, where that's less at the forefront of our experience. So then our view or our experience of the world will be more interconnected and interwoven and become similar to like it is on the other side with that light. But I don't know, because of the physicality of the body, when I look at the energy, I don't know if the physicality of the body is going to ever allow us to have that full-on boom connection like we have on the other side that I think is there. I can't say for sure because I haven't been dead yet. Well, I have been dead in many other lives, but I don't really remember it. Cuckoo! Cuckoo! All right, Kim Kuchler. I see you're here. Did you give me a topic, my dear? Did you give me a topic? Do you love angels too, Kelly Barbecue and Fuego? You should come to my house, girl. Look at this. I'll show you just a little bit. There's just a little bit. All right, do you see there's Gabriel across there? That's Raphael, the painting. That's Lydia. She sits on my desk. There's a shit ton of books about angels over there. Do you see on that second shelf? That's all little baby angels that are going to go into pick-a-cards at some point. I have angel shit everywhere. I have this little Mexican kid up above. See him? He's got angel wings. I found him in a store in Mexico. He has a lucha libre mask on, and I had him framed, and he has these little angel wings on his back. It's a black and white photograph. Oh, I have those guys there. Those are all angels. And then up there above the door is a heart with wings. That's the Archangel Michael. He guards the door. So that's a little bit into my world. All right. So, welcome to the Angel Museum. All right, so Kim Kuchler. Let's see what Kim's subject is. Sorry, guys. After Kim, we're going to go down the list, is Karma Grace, Heidi Phillips, Margaret Saunders, Jonas, and then Ryan. Okay, so, hey, Andrew, how are you? Andrew, you missed it. You have to tune in. Guess who we came up with tonight? You get a card, and you get a card, and you get a card. It's Taropra. Andrew will appreciate that. Andrew Giordano. He just came in the room. He'll appreciate that. Taropra. As your guidance, so just whatever. All right, we're going to continue working with the White Sage Tarot. And let's get to Kim Kuchler. Thank you, Spirit. Taropra. All right, what does Kim Kuchler need to know? Now, if we get that damn Page of the Pentacles again, I'm going to shut off the camera and go to bed. I'm just saying. Satan? Is Satan here? No. Dude, what was that guy's name again? That person that... What was his name? There was somebody that came in from YouTube and he had a Satan name, and he stayed and subscribed to the channel. That was so awesome. I miss him. That makes me Gail. No, I'm Taropra. You're Gail. Okay? Gail King. Or Gail Queen, I should say. Go host Good Morning America or something, bitch. I'm Taropra. I am Satan. That was his name. I am Satan. That's right. Or I think it was a him. It would have been badass if it was a chick with that name. Satan was an angel. You know, he really was. Lucifer. He just didn't want to serve humans. That's why they had God banished him and sent him to be the devil. He wanted to only serve God. And when God was pulling all those little beings of light off of him, he was like, no, these are going to be your charges. You need to watch out for these guys. And he was like, I don't want him. I don't want him. And so it's been a fight for our light ever since. Or but that's what they say. All right, let's see what's up for Kim. Nope. Beautiful. All right, so Kim, let's see what we've got going on here. So this is your card. It's the Nine of Wands. Okay, I'm gonna bring it. Okay, I sound like that guy from King of the Hill. I think it's King of the Hill. So it's or the South Park. Nine of Wands, and I'm gonna talk about this. To me, I feel like there's something going on here. Like there's some sort of I don't know why I'm getting this pregnant vibe as I'm looking at this card. Like I feel like a birth is about to happen. It's this little willow bud here that's about to spring forth. To me, it feels like it's bursting forth with you. As I'm looking at this card, nines are almost, they're close to tens, which means that we're getting to a place of completion. A 10 would be a completion card to me. Nines are like we're getting to that anticipation of sort of like this bud about to burst forward. Swans is the element of fire or spirit, right? So when I look at this, it feels like we've got this beautiful, all of these 8 wands here set up so that we're sort of protected and ready. We've been maybe sort of keeping ourselves a little bit walled off or protected from, say, maybe the outside world as we've been building something within us that's of great importance. That's what I feel like with this card. As I look at this pink ribbon wrapped around this sort of willow branch, the 9th branch, to me it feels like there's been great care taken, or maybe a lot of self-care has been taken in the, say, the months previous, or maybe even the year previous. To me, this feels like you're about to kind of bust out of your shell. Like I almost feel like, I know this is a willow bud, but to me this feels like also like a cocoon. I don't know if you've been antisocial recently or in the last, say, I get a feeling like it's maybe been like a year where you've been drawn back, withholding, kind of watching, figuring things out from just being more of an observer versus being an active participant, right? But to me, this feels like, okay, the time has come where it's time to sort of allow this new sense of self or this new awareness of self to sort of spring forth. That's the birth that I feel like, or the bloom that's happening here. And as we do that, I feel like this period of I feel like this is an incubation period that you've just gone through. This period of incubation is about to come to an end. We're going to start to understand how strong we are and what we've sort of provided for ourselves over this period of time where we've been sort of withdrawn or taking care of ourselves and putting ourselves first. I hope that that's the case, because that's sort of what I feel with this card. And it's sort of this lovely feeling of self-nurturing at a very deep level. And so I hope that that's what you have been doing. From having done that, not only have you kept yourself safe and protected, but you've also allowed yourself for this opportunity of new awareness and growth to kind of come forth and be sort of born again. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense to you, Kim, but that's kind of what I'm feeling. So, and this leads into, this 9 would then lead into a 10, which would be sort of like that next growth or that next level of advancement within sort of your connection to spirit, right? So this feels to me like hopefully somewhere along the way you've been putting yourself first, and from doing that you've kind of created this opportunity where you're sort of I don't know why I'm using all these birth scenarios, but you're sort of ripe for change or growth to take place. Like whatever you've been kind of working on, it's about to kind of come to fruition is sort of what I feel. Like I feel like this is a very exciting period for you. You've been working on your connection to spirit. That's exactly what this would imply, right? And so this feels very strong to me, very sort of connected and cared for, and it's ready to sort of bloom. So be prepared for that. And I mean that in a good way. Like, not that there's anything you need to do to prepare. This to me feels like you've done all the preparations. You've really kind of put it first, put yourself first, and sort of made it a focus. And from that, you're sort of reaping the benefits of that. You're very welcome, Kim. Karma Grace, are you still with us? Thank you, Kim, for the YouTube subscription. I appreciate it. I love it. Thank you. Okay, Karma, did you have a topic that you want me to read on? Heidi Phillips, you're up next, just to keep the line going. All right, Swooze Day. Got it. And Taropra. Family for Karma Grace. Okay. So let's look at family for Karma Grace. You know what, Karma Grace? I'm changing my deck for you. I don't know why. I gotta run into the other room. I'll be right back. One moment. Arthur, what are you doing? All right. Something tells me to get out my trusty Voyager deck. So I'm going to don't block the door, Gus. Let Arthur come in. So I'm changing decks for Karma. So let's see Karma Grace's family. After Heidi will be Margaret Saunders and then Jonas and then Ryan McGraw. Okay. Karma Grace's family. Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm going to say this, Karma. As I'm shuffling the cards, I sort of feel like there's some things that aren't being said within the family. I'm not sure if that makes sense to you, but I feel like there is a bit of a struggle. There feels a little bit like I don't know if there's drinking going on in the family. I got this sort of weird hit that it felt kind of, the energy felt kind of wonky to me, like off. And then when I pulled this card, I'm just going to show you the card. This is the Five of Wands. This is oppression. This is a kind of a dark card. It makes me wonder about the state of your family. It makes me wonder about, to me, this card usually has like sort of baggage attached to it. When I look at this card, it always has this sort of dark nature to it. Like there's old memories, there's old things that are maybe not fixed or have not been sort of acknowledged properly. And from that, uh, there's a heavy weight that I sort of feel like with that might be connected to you and your relationship to your family. Does that make sense? I'm not sure. When I was shuffling the cards, it's sort of like I was getting this distinct impression that there's things that haven't been said, or things that need to be said that haven't, have fallen on deaf ears. That kind of a thing. And then when I look at this, I don't think that this is a current card. I feel like this is sort of the overall uh, gist of what you've maybe gone through with your family is this struggle or this kind of learning how to sort of deal with things by how do I want to put it, by like kind of compartmentalizing, putting things away, putting away like oppressing sort of like the harder memories or the harder experiences that you maybe had to deal with in your past, shutting off sort of aspects of maybe your own intuitive awareness to accommodate for other people's kind of, I don't know, bad behavior. Uh, what I do want to say about this card is I do feel like there is a strength within this card. Like some of these situations dealing with family for you maybe have been very, very hard. They've been very, very painful in the past. But it hasn't, on some level, it's sort of like, I feel like it's strengthened you or made you more aware. But when I look at this card, I feel like you're allowing some of those memories to still kind of box you in or hold you back. And I feel like you can release yourself as I look at this card, or at least that's what I'm hearing, is that like this oppression or this sort of uh, And if I'm way off, you can let me know. Like if I'm totally on the wrong path, karma, let me know. But if this is making sense, just give me like a yes, or else I'll stop. This might, this is a public forum, so I'm trying to be kind of polite and not say too much because um, there are other people watching right now. But to me, I feel like what I'm getting from this card is there is this opportunity for you to set yourself free at this point, and that you have the strength to do that from having been through all of these experiences. But because they're family, or because maybe things that were said to you, or perceptions, ways that you perceive yourself now because of how they treated you, sort of is what is continuing to sort of keep you in this box or in this space. Does that make sense? And I want you to understand that you can free yourself at this point, that you are stronger than the situations that you've maybe lived through, that you're still here to talk about it, that you're still here to sort of really weigh like what was mine and what was theirs. And what was theirs really is just that, it's theirs. It's not, you don't have to carry it anymore. And because maybe they didn't, how do I want to put this? Like maybe those experiences were, didn't, how do I want to put this? Like I feel like those experiences, as hard as they were and as invalidating as they may have been, that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't deserve to be validated. But that validation at this point is going to need to come from you versus them. I don't necessarily know that it's going to come from them. And when I look at this card, I feel like this is a lot of the past, or the darkness of the past that you carry with you into the now, that you need to sort of shed and let go of. And acknowledge it for what it is, right? But it's also like you survived it, like you're strong, you're capable. You This was sort of, to be honest, I feel like their how do I want to put this? Like, don't don't allow their inability to love you in the way that you needed to be loved um, make you continue to not find that love for yourself. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Because I think that this is their sort of like, when I'm looking at this card, it's like whatever you put up with and whatever you dealt with and whatever sort of darkness that you went through in the past, those experiences are not indicative of who you are or what you deserve. They were sort of, like I almost want to say like they were people that maybe weren't able to deliver on what you needed regardless, right? They did the best that they could, even though their best was not very good. And so maybe that's part of that aspect of when I was shuffling the cards where I was feeling like there was something that needed to be said that maybe wasn't. That might be something that you need to say, or some sort of clarity that you feel that you maybe need from them, or some sort of understanding that you need from them so that you are able to move on. And I think that you may not be able to necessarily get that. And so the feeling that I get from this card is this is about you giving that to yourself regardless of what they do, say, or how they act, and stepping away. You do understand, Karma? I hope you do understand. This card is like no. This card is definitely a card of uh, having been through a lot. Okay, and so I just want to acknowledge that you've maybe been through a lot in the past, but you don't need to go through that anymore. And the confusion that might, the conflicts that might create because it's coming from your family or from the people that you are supposed to be your source of support and love, does get confusing, and it can trip you up. And I speak about this only because I can speak about it from my own personal experience too, because I feel like I can relate to sort of what I'm feeling from this card, because I've sort of experienced it at different times in my own family with my own life. And so I can understand that these situations can leave marks on us, or beliefs about ourselves that we carry into our day-to-day lives, and we act and operate from, that aren't necessarily true. And that's what I'm feeling like with this card for you, is that it's time for you to sort of separate yourself from some of those things that maybe have oppressed you for so long around surrounding your relationship to your family, maybe places where you were negated or not acknowledged or treated kindly, and realize that you deserve more at this point, and that you're stronger than that, and that you're brighter than that. There's a brightness within you that I think that some of these familiar situations has maybe taken that light a little bit. Don't allow them to do that anymore. Okay? If you need to message me at the business page, Karma, you certainly can. I hope that makes sense. I don't want to get too, I hope I haven't touched any nerves or been, too forward with that reading. But that card is sort of a little bit, it just speaks to a rough situation. So I want to be able to talk to you, but I also don't want to put your stuff on blast, so to speak. Okay, so the next person is Heidi Phillips. You're welcome, Karma. Thank you for being so patient. And you've got this, girl. Like, you do. Like, trust me. Half those bastards couldn't handle most of the shit that they threw at you. Trust me. So, did that resonate with you, Emily? Yeah, that's okay. That's what it's supposed to do. If some, like I said earlier, I think Emily's just arrived here, but like I said earlier, Spirit will find ways to kind of come through on one person's reading, and if you're listening, it may make sense for you. That's fully acceptable to take what I've said and utilize it in your situation if it resonates. Career, job stuff, Taropra. Awesome. What do I want to do for your career? Do I want to use a different deck for your career? For your career? I'm all Taropra out now. Let me see. I feel like I want to use something different. What do I want to use? Can you get out of my way for 1 minute? I gotta open this cabinet. Oh, watch out. Oh, it's so scary. Cabinet door swinging open. Career. You got me stumped, girl. Let me see here. Ooh, let's bring her back. Let's bring her back. We haven't seen her, and we've got some of her followers in the room tonight. We're going to get out the Literary Witches. We love this deck. This was a gift from Jen Nichols. This deck's beautiful. We haven't seen these ladies since, like, last October. So I feel like we're going to do this for Heidi. So let me see what the cards have to say. What do the Literary Witches have to say for Heidi Phillips in her job, career stuff, Taropra? Okay, let's like acknowledge that energy of sort of slogging through it, but then yet like rushing things at the same time. Would that make sense to you, Heidi? I feel like we have to sort of like use everything that we can to make this happen. Like we're like sort of pushing through like, oh, God, I gotta get this career stuff. But then you're like, at other moments you're like, gotta do it quick, gotta do it fast. So it sort of feels like this dichotomy of energies as I'm shuffling the cards. It's like this feeling of it's moving too slow. Now it's moving too fast. Now we've got to rush it. Now we've got to, now we've got to fight against it because it's not moving fast enough. It sort of feels a little bit all over the place. Does that make sense? She says, yep. Okay, good. That lets me know that I'm attached to the right energy. Okay, let's see here. Heidi, over here. What do my witches have to say? Ah, good. All right. So I am going to flip this. So in this deck, there is like just certain symbols, and then there's actual literary witches. These are famous women that the artist and author of this deck took out and sort of created into their own sort of major arcana, even though this is, I believe this is, yeah, it's not an actual tarot deck. It is an oracle deck, but it's a rather large oracle deck. Generally, oracle decks tend to be around 50 some odd cards, depending. Like some are 52. Some are even smaller than that. But this is a 70 card like sort of oracle deck. In this, there's a certain amount of these cards that happen to be the literary witches, which you got one, and I believe that this is sort of like their major arcana for this deck. So when you get a literary witch, this means that there's sort of like a bigger push to this. There's a bigger, a little bit more energy. There's a bigger lesson around this one for you. When I look at this, I'm just going to go off the design first, but then I'm also going to read the story about this woman because I don't know this woman. We've never seen this card before, even when we worked with this a while back when we were working with this card, deck. But this is Joy Harjo, Harjo, and her symbol or her word is bravery. And the minute I think about this, remember when I said the energy is slogging and we have all of this mud? This mud almost appears like her skirt to me, right? So it's like she's sort of like connected to it. It's part of her, but it also is sort of what holds her in place or keeps her stuck. And then I look at this image of this sort of falling person here, these clouds parting, which these clouds tend to resonate with me as sort of self-doubt. So we might be sort of getting a little bit clearer about what it is that we want in our career or where it is we want to go. But I feel like this is her past kind of hanging above her head. This slipping and falling, this sort of negative memory, this sort of fear. To me, it feels like we might be trying to keep the clouds of self-doubt away from us, and we might be thinking about maybe past missteps we've made in our career as we're trying to create now in the present, okay? Which is where she is sort of centered. She is looking to the future, but she is centered in the present, but we feel stuck. There's this sort of feeling of what I think might be fear of creating mishaps that we've experienced in the past or revisiting those memories a little too much in an effort to keep ourselves safe. And that's what's also making this sort of mud happen for her. Does that make sense? Where we're feeling stuck in our career space or not able to move forward like we want to. The bravery aspect of this is like in the face of looking at this and sort of these memories, right? We have to be brave and still continue to move forward. That's the key. And I love that these two horses are here. They're like, yo, bitch, what's up? I'm good. How are you? Anyways, these two horses to me feel like horses are always a symbol of personal power. And so when I look at these two horses, to me, I feel like this is about us harnessing our personal power and really understanding that maybe whatever mistakes we've made in the past in our career, they don't have to haunt us, they don't have to lead us, and they don't have to be our present time experience. If we give too much attention to them or too much worry or too much credence to them, then we start to create this area where we start to fear like, oh, I don't want to recreate that again. And that's what creates this mud that we sort of stick in. In this mud, I am going to say this, there are these flowers that are growing, which says to me that there's growth here. Even though we may feel stuck, we are learning a lesson. This being a literary witch card says it is a big lesson around career, around our own belief in ourselves, around our own bravery, around our own trust in ourselves that we can create the sort of the beauty and the growth and the abundance that we want. I feel like these flowers indicate that you can get there. My mom has a tattoo. It's like making me think of my mom's tattoo. She has this tattoo of a lotus flower on her arm that says no mud, no lotus. Meaning sometimes we have to go through these periods of darkness or heaviness or whatever so that we can actually grow ourselves to a degree. And to me, it feels like you might need to be brave and let go of the past and sort of start to create from the present time now to create the things that you want. Now, that all being said, I'm going to read from the book what Joy's story is, just because I love these women and I want to know more about Joy, because I have not read her story before, so let's see what she is about. She is card number... Does she have a number? Why are you sitting on my feet, Bobby? You're trying to get my attention? Let me find her really quick. 1 second. I'm just going to read you her little story, because they each have a little story. Here she is. So Joy Harjo, she is plunging in, making decisions, fear. Harjo, a common Miskoke, which is Creek Nation name, means so brave she's crazy. Joy Harjo, born in 1951, courageously survived an oppressive childhood, teenage pregnancy, and domestic abuse before becoming a spiritually charged poet of wild natural imagery and urgent social activism, as well as an award-winning saxophone player and singer. So I'm going to say, just reading that story too, it says to me that you're probably a lady of many talents. And so, to me, don't get stuck in sort of the doubts of the past or the mishaps of the past and allow them to kind of dictate to you your now. Does that make sense when it comes to the career stuff? Um, Move forward with this bravery and this idea of plunging in, being active and making active decisions, and just go for it. She has these two wonderful horses down here that are sort of personal power, like ready to guide her and be like, yo, come with us, we'll take you there. But she has to believe that she can get there. And I think that might be part of that sort of that energy where I was feeling like you were um, uh, uh, rushing and then slowing, and then rushing and then slowing, and then rushing and then slowing. It feels a little bit sort of, it's giving off a couple of different emanations or vibes that maybe is holding you back or getting in your way a little bit. So just stop that. That's not for reading. Not something anybody wants to hear in a reading. Oh, here's your tarot reading. Just stop that. There you go. That's your spiritual learning for the day. Is just stop that. All right, I'm going to take this card down. Be brave, dear, no matter what you do. Know that you have the capacity. She was a woman of many talents, as are probably you. Believe in those talents. Move forward in those talents. Be decisive in those talents. Own those friggin' talents. Let that mud that you feel that you're stuck in that's driving you a little bit nuts, remember that that mud is the lesson that you're going to need to learn to grow the beauty and abundance that you want in your career. Go for it. Okay, so the next person I have is Margaret Saunders, then Jonas, if he's still here, and Ryan McGraw. Thank you guys for being so patient. And then I'm going to gift away the Triple H reading to the last person, and that we'll call it a night. Okay? Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Damn it. I lost my cameras. Oh, shit. Oh, Lord. Okay. All right. I love that patience. Thank you. I guess you should jump. I kind of get a feeling that that bravery card said jump, bitch. Like, I mean, not to call you a bitch or anything. I mean that with the much love. But those horses were like, jump. Do it, girl. Do it. What do you got to lose? You're standing in a bunch of mud. That's what they were saying. All right, yes, you're here, Margaret. Thank you. And what was your question again, Margaret? Was it about moving, or you had a long question? You sort of had set it up early, and I can't remember. Can you, without giving me too much information, just let me know what the subject's on, so I can stay with. Jonas is here. Jonas, thank you. Awesome. Cool, dude. Thank you. Have your subject ready next, because you're up after Margaret after this reading, and then we'll be Ryan, and then I'll give away the Triple H reading to some lucky person that can give me, I don't know, the best. We'll see in a minute. I'll give you guys a little contest, and whoever I feel like wins it gets the Triple H reading. Please share out the stream if you haven't, and post it to your Facebook pages with the tag that says, "Shit, this guy's amazing! Oh my god!" Hashtag Taropra. You get a card, you get a card, you get a card. Margaret, I'm waiting on you, dear. Wait. You know what? He says I needed someone to say jump, bitch. Don't we all sometimes in our lives need somebody to say jump, bitch? Like, just jump, bitch. Shit, bitch. We need, what is it? Get off the cross, Mary. We need the wood. Tag LOL. Shit, this guy's amazing. Hashtag shit, this guy's amazing. I prefer amazing. UHMAYZING. Ducky says jump, bitch. You can do it. Hashtag jump, bitch. I mean, you only got this life, so whatever, you know? So what, if it fucks up and blows up in your face, so you go and you blow something else up, it's gonna be okay. I promise. It's gonna be okay. Ryan's still here. Awesome, Ryan. Thank you for checking in. All right, so I'm not seeing Did Margaret post what her topic is? Because everybody's posting. I might have missed Margaret. Oops. Not like you want love. All right, so love for Margaret Saunders. I'm gonna go with this deck. I'm gonna go back to the White Sage for this love one. I feel like. So let's see what Margaret Saunders has, and then Jonas will be up next. Thank you, Spirit. Margaret Saunders. And again, those of you that are cross-watchers or cross-platformed, if you guys have YouTube accounts, and those of you that are watching on Facebook, please go over to YouTube and subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell. I'm trying to build my subscribers over there so that I can get chat over there. So if any of you have YouTube accounts and you watch on YouTube, please feel free to do so and subscribe to my channel. Even if you continue to watch me on Facebook, that's fine. Just the subscription helps me out. So... So let's see what's going on here for love for Miss Margaret Saunders. Interesting. Okay, I have to say this, Margaret, before I flip the camera. I felt this weird nervous energy. Not that weird. I don't mean to judge it in that way, but it just felt like there's a bit of a nervous energy going on in the love department. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. But I'm going to show you the card and tell you why I chose to share that with you. So, here we go. The card is the Two of Swords. Twos always speak to couplings to me, right? Thank you, Renee Lynn. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate that. That might actually win you the Triple H reading tonight if you went over and subscribed on my YouTube channel. I will love you for that forever. This twos always make me think of relationships. Where I want to go with this is I almost feel like you might actually be in a relationship, or this might be the remnants of a previous relationship where things didn't work out so well. And just answer me really quickly. You are single right now, correct, Margaret? Just say yes or no, please. Because I feel like if you are single, then this is the remnants of a previous relationship. If not, you might be in a relationship, and this relationship is not going well currently. I feel like there's an at-odds feeling to this, where you two are sort of fighting over who's sort of maybe in control. Does that make sense? So can you answer to me, is this a present time feeling that I'm getting, or is this a past time feeling? That's why I'm asking if you are currently in a relationship, because I want to read this from... Kat, it doesn't really matter. At some point, I want to broadcast ideally just from YouTube. That would be the most ideal for me. That's why I asked for the YouTube subscriptions. Because YouTube allows you to have chat functionality and all of that, and it just is a smoother process. But I need to build up my subscriptions over there. You are seeing someone, but you have an ex. Oh, perfect. You are just giving me all of that goodness right now. All right, so let me ask you this. Well, I shouldn't ask too many questions because I want to read you. I'm going to say, what I can't tell about this is if this struggle was in the previous relationship or if it's in the relationship right now. But to me, this feels like there's definitely a struggle going on. And I feel like intuitively, you know about this struggle. Now, what I can't make out is if this is from the previous relationship or if this is going on current in your relationship now. But if it's from the previous relationship, I'm going to say this. It is affecting your ability to be in the relationship that you are in now. Does that make sense? I know that sounds kind of convoluted, but I'm sort of getting my wires, and it's funny because these two swords are crossed, and I'm going to say I'm getting my wires crossed as I'm reading this card, because I can't tell if this is the current relationship you're in, or if this is something old, but whatever it is, the sort of the memory of it, if it is something old, is sort of affecting your ability to kind of be in the present time situation or trust it fully. These swords feel drawn, and they feel a little bit like they're clashing for power. This might be the older relationship. Like, I feel like maybe you and him butted heads quite a bit, and that therefore you're kind of like on the lookout, is that going to happen in what I'm dealing with now? Intuitively, I feel like you need to trust your intuition. I feel like maybe in this relationship you haven't. That's why I feel like this might be more the past relationship than the one you're currently in now. But I think that you sort of maybe suffered from that relationship. There's some sort of like, and to me, the Two of Swords isn't necessarily, I mean, this could be seen as a meeting of the minds, but to me, this does not feel like a meeting of the minds. This feels more like a clashing of the swords, right? And you kind of, this green knot that's wrapped around it feels so tightly wrapped around it. It's like the memory of that relationship sort of still affects what you do now in new relationships. So my guidance for you would be to let that go. My guidance for you would be to open up to this intuition that is very clearly here that you have access to, that you maybe didn't trust in the previous relationship, and honor that intuition, honor that intuitive voice that maybe you didn't listen to in the past. Know that you have it, and that there's a strength and an opportunity here to trust that, and you can create a different style of relationship or a different experience with this new relationship that doesn't have to be based on sort of the similarities of the past. Now, if you're getting signals from this new guy that seems similar to the old guy, I would pay attention to that. That might be this intuition and why this moon is sitting up here saying, hey, red flag. Do you see what I'm saying? You're struggling with missing the ex, Margaret? Okay, that could be some of this too. But I sort of feel like this ex and you kind of weren't necessarily the easiest to deal with. That's the crossing of these swords. So, to me, I would say that if you're missing the ex, see, I don't get a really warm and fuzzy vibe from this card as far as the love department. So if you're trying to conjure the ex back up or bring him back into your life, I don't necessarily know that that's necessarily the right thing to do. But then that moon sitting up there says to me that intuitively you need to listen to yourself. Daniel, that is my dog snoring underneath the desk. I have 3 English bulldogs. Where are all these menses coming from? Hi, Daniel Gerson. Maybe I'll find a husband one day. No, I'm just kidding, Daniel. You're probably straight and have 8 kids. Don't even worry. So, yeah, Sandra says... Sandra's gonna be Taropa now. She says, don't go back. Just like Jump Bitch. It's very simple guidance tonight. We've got hashtag Jump Bitch or hashtag don't go back. That's it. You get a card, you get a card, you get a card. Okay. Welcome, Daniel, by the way. Anyways. It is my English bulldogs that are snoring underneath the table. They all pile around my feet as I do this. Okay, so that is your reading, Margaret. I hope that makes sense to you. I know that wasn't sort of the best of descriptions. I know that you're missing your ex. I would not suggest going back. I would also suggest trusting your intuition over anything else. I would also suggest trying not to create sort of, there's a reason why your ex is your ex, I would say. You know, so, and I feel like this knot here is you sort of tied to him, like why you keep going back to him maybe in your mind. But there's something there that I think you might need to let go of. Okay, so I'm someone snoring. Yes, my readings have that effect, Daniel. I put people to sleep with my readings. Right? Alright, so Jonas, are you here, Jonas? Is it Jonas, like with a Y, or Jonas, like as in the brothers? As in, they didn't sing Umbop. That was the other ones. I don't know any Jonas Brothers songs. Although they did release a new video recently that has them in their underwear. Why I know that, I don't know. Facebook keeps me abreast of all of the important things. Australia's burned down and the Jonas Brothers aren't wearing pants. Such a waste of my fucking time. I mean, not about Australia, but... Okay, so... The snoring, you enjoy it? The funny thing is like, if I go and I stay in a hotel without them, I can't sleep. It's too quiet. It's like my version of the ocean sound now. I'm so used to it because I have 3 of them, and when they all get going, it's like sleeping with 90-year-old men. All right, don't judge me, okay? Don't judge me. All right, so let's get into Jonas and what Jonas would like to know about. Self-expression. Oh, that's very Belgian. What do you mean self-expression, Jonas? You want a card for self-expression? Like how you express yourself? And Ryan, you're up after Jonas. Did that Renee girl leave? The girl who subscribed to the YouTube channel? Renee, are you still here? Okay, so a card for self expression. All right, let me see. I'm going to use this deck. This is a different kind of request, Jonas. I have to say that. I'm not usually. Most people want to know, is my boyfriend cheating? Will I move? But let's see what Jonas's self-expression. A card for Jonas's self-expression. Let me see here. I don't think it's weird at all, Kat. I like watching other people's readings all the time. Renee Lynn, all right, you're gonna be my Triple H winner tonight since you subscribed. Did you subscribe to the YouTube channel? Is that where you subscribed, or did you actually cross platforms for me? Because that's why I want to give you the Triple H. If you went and you subscribed to the YouTube channel on top of watching me on Facebook, you win the Triple H. Okay, so this is your card. This is from the Song of My Heart. This is Vulnerability Inspires Me. Thank you, Renee. Then you'll be the winner of the Triple H tonight, so we'll do your reading last. So it says, like a newborn, I grow through fresh experiences by allowing myself to explore freely. So I feel like there's a lot of opportunity for growth for you right now, but I also feel like there's a lot of opportunity to sort of determine and build upon how it is you want to be in your world. And so maybe this is why you've asked this question about self-expression, actually, because I feel like maybe you're at a turning point, possibly, where things are new, things are fresh again, things like this baby, like we're sort of like taking everything in and sort of deciding where do we fit in our world and how do we want to fit in our world, how do we want to express ourselves, what do we want to connect to, like sort of teachings do we want to take on and adopt as our own and really define who we are by that. This vulnerability inspires me speaks to the idea that babies, like I'm looking at this baby in the card and I think about how vulnerable babies are, but they make it, right? I mean, of course, some babies don't due to health issues or whatever, but generally, as a rule, if a baby is sort of able to, get the basic needs met, a baby will survive and grow. And to me, this vulnerability inspires me, is sort of takes us to that place of allowing others in and allowing others to sort of not necessarily guide us, but care for us and love us so that we can grow into the next phase of who we are, right? So when I take this to this idea of how to, like self-expression or how does one express themselves, I think that the suggestion here, or what Spirit is trying to say, is through your own vulnerability and through your own opportunity to sort of remain open like this child or like this baby and grow from that, exposing yourselves to sort of new ideas and new things and really picking and choosing what it is that you want to adopt and what it is that you want to sort of take on as your own. There's a strength there, there's an opportunity there, there's a newness to all of it that is exciting, and there can be sort of like a how do I want to explain this, like an enthusiasm that can sort of take over in this idea of being vulnerable to sort of your environment, the people around you, letting them in. Maybe you haven't always let people in the past. Maybe you've been more guarded and you've sort of, maybe that's isolated you to a degree. So you're at this new phase where something new has to come about, some new change has to happen. Like a new baby is being born, a new side of you or a new desire within you is being born that's saying, I want more, or I want to be exposed to more. Well, to expose yourself to more or to challenge yourself in a way, you need to open yourself to the idea of being vulnerable, exploring freely, and allowing yourself these new experiences versus maybe hiding yourself behind what is familiar and safe, right? So when I look at the idea of self-expression for you, I think that that might be a good way to sort of express yourself at this point, is in a way being more open, in a way being more vulnerable to situations, letting people in, exposing yourself a little bit more, and realizing, seeing sort of the goodness in people, because not everybody's going to respond, you know, perfectly positive to us, but those that do sort of reinstill our faith in humankind, right? And I'm always like, when this card has come up in previous readings, I've always said that like the truest form of strength is found in vulnerability. That's a phrase that I've always carried with me through since high school, and I sort of realized that one night when I was stoned in high school. I was like, whoa, man, like when you really have no need for any of the walls around you, that's when you're really at your strongest point. Fuck, dude, that's crazy. So, but I've always known that to be like a universal truth, is that when we are able to be vulnerable, we're truly who we are. When we're able to not have masks or shields or walls or fears guiding us, and we allow ourselves to be vulnerable to who we actually are and share that with another individual, depending on how that other individual reacts. If they react in a positive way, or they just hold space for us and allow us to be who we are, it can be extremely powerful and healing. It can be extremely validating, right? So I think that that's your answer to your self-expression question. I hope that made sense. So we are still live, Barassi. Thank you, Renee, for subscribing to both. You are my winner for tonight. We'll do your Triple H in 1 minute. I got to do Ryan if he's still waiting for me. And then I hope that makes sense, Jonas. Thank you so much for being patient and tuning in. I hope that delivers some semblance of an answer for you. I'm going to pull this away. Ryan, are you still with me? Ryan McGraw. Quick Draw McGraw. I'm going to get my card set up for my head, heart, health, and yes, thank you. It's funny, there's a baby on the card because my girlfriend is pregnant. Wow! So you will be teaching a baby. Congratulations, Jonas. Congratulations on the idea of being a new daddy. And there's a whole level of vulnerability in that love as a father, don't you think? To me, I think that in that vulnerability can inspire you in new levels of your own self-expression. So when you think about that sort of like deepening of like, you know, your ability to be vulnerable to the love of your child, that's a whole nother level. Like that's something to me that, hold on, let me switch cameras because I feel like that to me is like the power of being like a mother I'll never understand, right? The closest thing that I have is my dogs, and they're not the exact same. I love my dogs and my cats with all of my, you know, love, but it's not the same as actually having a child. I don't know that I'm ever going to have a child. I mean, first off, I'm a gay man, but that would, you know, unless it's through a surrogate and all of this weird shit, I don't know that it's ever going to be that sort of an intense bond that you'll get to experience with your child. And so to me, that baby is kind of cool. Maybe there is something to be said for that, that there might be new levels of vulnerability and new levels of exposure to this relationship with your child that will inspire you and allow you to go into it bravely. Paula, you were not added to the list. I'm sorry. I've been calling out the list names the whole night, so if you haven't been listening, you would have known, or if you had been listening, you would have known that you were not on the list here. Because I've been running down the list all friggin' night. Did you just jump off the phone? Like, all right, so is Ryan McGraw here? Thank you, Daniel Gerson. I would totally give you a reading for that, but you're going to have to tune in on another night because I've done quite a few tonight. And I am giving, okay, general reading for Ryan McGraw. I am giving these last two readings out, and then I'm going to shut off for the night because this is only supposed to be an hour. But I will, if you show back up, Daniel, I'm happy to add you to another list, or I'll make you the Triple H winner on the next time we do this. All right, so let me do a general for Ryan McGraw. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah, it's kind of cool being a father. I would love to be a father. It just would be a whole nother next level drama. I barely make it as a doggy daddy. I struggle as a doggy daddy, so I don't know if I'm ready for fatherhood just yet. But it would be kind of cool. Good on you, Jonas. That's like fucking incredible. Bringing to me like bringing a new life in and like being part of the process of educating it and rearing it and teaching it the ways of the world and stuff is so fucking huge. Like, it's amazing when you think about it, right? Don't like, and I don't put that to you to like scare you in any way. I think that it's something to be embraced and excited about. You get the opportunity to sort of be bestowed with that gift. Like, it's huge. Some spirit is on the other side waiting to get in this body. Already is in this body. He's in your girlfriend's belly, or they're in your girlfriend's belly. I shouldn't say he. I don't know that it's a he or she, but waiting to come on through to the other side. And you get to be their guide. Their what was that commercial? Oh, I can't think of the commercial. The thing about the guide in India. What was the commercial? Something. Oh, never mind. But you get to be their guide in this world, and that's kind of cool. What is the word? Something Benjamin? I can't remember. Anyways, let me see what's up with Ryan. Ooh, Ryan. This is a new card. I've not seen this card. I've only been working with this deck since January 1st. We've been loving this deck, but I'm going to turn the cameras around so you can see your card. I love this card, Ryan. This is the Seven of Pentacles. To me, when I look at this card, I'm not going to use the traditional meaning of the Seven of Pentacles, but what I love about this card is there's this shovel that is dug down into the ground. And to me, actually, this is kind of, now I can sort of see the story between this and the traditional meaning of the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is always about sort of hard work being put in and the sort of the fruits of that labor, or the working really hard on the finer details and finally sort of seeing that sort of work come to fruition. And that's kind of what I feel like with this is with this shovel is it's like the hard work has been sort of put in and dug down into the earth, and from that up grows this beautiful plant, right? And from that is all of these sort of pentacles or these coins. Pentacles deals with the element of earth, right? And we're certainly in the earth with this shovel down in it, and we've got this beautiful plant vining up, and it's producing this sort of wealth. So wherever we want wealth or wherever we've put in the work, now this card speaks to me about now is the time to kind of reap those benefits, right? Now is the time to sort of understand that everything that we do going forward, everything that we do, that we put forth in sort of like from a place of positivity and with a good mindset will sort of bring about rewards. I wouldn't be so surprised if you're already experiencing some of those rewards, but also keep in mind that this could also mean the beginning of doing that work and being aware of that. Like, does that make sense? I want you to sort of take this card, and if your ship is sort of coming in, so to speak, right now, that's great, but also remember that this card continues. I'm just snoring so loud. This card continues to sort of bring about growth for you and bring about abundance for you. There is work to be put in, right? It's not. Oh, now the other dog's snoring from the chair over there. Great. We're gonna have unison in a minute. But this is about the work being put in, being mindful of that work, being conscious of that work. And even if it's a little bit hard or a bit of a struggle, if we keep our mindset positive, we have to remember that everything that we do is for a reason, and everything that we put into it, we will get back out. So pay attention to the finer details. Don't get too beleaguered. And know that, like, sort of like, I feel like this card's saying to me that if the payoff isn't here already, keep mindful that the payoff will come, whatever that payoff may be. If it's more money that you want, if it's a better relationship that you want, whatever it is that you're working towards, continue to work towards it. Know that that growth is happening. That's what this card is saying to me, and allow it in. Hey Julia, how are you? Oh, awesome, Patience. I think that's awesome. Patience over on YouTube says, I just have to say, Daniel, that I found your YouTube from your unboxing on Amazon for Universe Got Your Back cards. And after I bought the deck and found your channel, I was in need of your energy. Laughed my ass off. Thank you, Patience. That's cool. I didn't know that anybody, that I posted 2 of those or 3 of those up to Amazon, and I never knew if they took. So that's kind of cool that they came out, that I actually got a viewer from that. That's incredible. Thank you. Yes, total dog snoring. Oh God, look who's here. Dickhead Johnson. What are you doing? Come here. Come say hello, you little shit. Alright, I'm gonna turn this around and show you guys my new baby, Jonas. This is my new baby. He just came into the room to say hello. This is Arthur. This is my baby Arthur. He's a Maine Coon cat. He just came bouncing in, so I thought I'd share that with you. That's my new baby. All right, so I hope that makes sense to you, Ryan. If there's something that you're working on, keep working, and trust that your ship is going to come in. It's going to be good. The kitten has decided that the dogs are okay, but if the dogs do anything weird and the kitten gets scared, then he starts hissing at everybody. He forgets. Now he walks across the dogs in the bed and shit. He doesn't give a shit. But like if the dogs like all run into the room too fast and it startles him, and all of a sudden he forgets that he knows them and he starts hissing at everybody. And it takes him a few hours to come back out of that and get back to normal. It's funny. He'll like arch his back and be like, oh. And I'm like, you were just like fucking laying with them in the bed. It's the same dog, you idiot. I love him, but he's a ding dong. He's still a kitten, so he hasn't got it fully figured out yet. But it's funny when he gets like, we're all fine, we're all like chilling in the bed, and then like I get up and he always follows me into the kitchen, and then the dogs might come because they think I'm getting food. So they all get excited, and if all 3 of them come down the hall together, he just gets a little nervous about that. And then if they come around the corner too fast, he's like, ah! And then he starts hissing at them all, and it's like we feel like we've backtracked. But as he gets bigger, he'll feel more self-assured. Okay, Ryan says, I just got into a new relationship that I've been working towards for just over 2 months. It makes complete sense. I'm also working on learning tarot cards. Thank you. Any work that you're putting in, Ryan, I just want to explain to you, this card says to me that it's going to be abundant and good. So work in your relationship, work in tarot cards, work in whatever. Whatever you're doing, like I feel like to me, this shovel feels like a very balanced, nice nature. Like you really give time and attention to whatever it is you do work on. And from doing that, you sort of get rewarded. So keep that in mind as you progress forward, because I think that this is a really beneficial card and a beautiful card for you. Okay? Wait until I come into a pet puddle. What do you mean, where they're all around me? I live that. That's my day-to-day existence. Half the time I can't. I have a king-size bed, and I swear to God, when I go to get into it, every friggin' animal has to touch me. Every animal. There's this whole other half of the bed that's like a desert. Like there's nobody on that side of the bed. And I'm like, I bought a king bed so that we could all lay here and not have to touch. And I got like a dog ass like shoved up against me, and another dog chin on my like thigh, and I got a kitten on my chest and a kitten in between my legs, and it's a mess. It's a fucking mess. And even trying to go to the bathroom and then coming back to the bed, my spot is gone. Somebody has moved into my spot without fail. You're welcome, Ryan. You're very welcome. Hey Megan, welcome. We're actually wrapping up. I'm going to do one more reading. I've been on for about an hour, so I'm going to do one more reading. But Megan, if you like the business page, you'll be notified when I go on and do this again. You can certainly come back and get a card then, okay? Sorry that you're tuning in late. But I'm going to get ready to wrap it up here. I'm going to do for Renee, because Renee was so kind to go and cross-dress for me. And what I mean by cross-dress is cross-platform subbing, where she became not only my bitch on Facebook, she became my bitch on YouTube. No, she subscribed on both platforms, regardless of which one she watches on. I'm trying to build my YouTube subscriptions. So she was kind enough and nice enough to do that for me. So I'm going to give her the culmination, which is the Triple H reading, right? That's why I hashtag Triple H. So right now, we're looking for Renee Lynn, right? It's Renee Lynn, correct? I think it's Renee Lynn. Sorry, Megan. All right, Renee Lynn's head, please. Give me a card for Renee Lynn's head. Thank you. Okay. There's our head. Now for our heart. Just give me a moment while I shuffle these cards. Renee Lynn. Heart, please. Renee Lynn's heart. I gotta say this, Renee Lynn, when I was doing your head, it felt a little fucked up. And I don't mean like in like a bad way, but like a little bit like maybe you tend to overthink. Maybe you tend to worry too much. There was a little bit of heaviness in the card as I was shuffling for your head card, which is your mind, right? Or where your head's at. So I just want to acknowledge that. It's not bad. It's just sort of like you maybe tend to worry or overthink things. I don't know if that's correct, but if you give me a yes or something, that would let me know that I'm on the right track with your head card. It just felt a little bit like it might be worrisome right now. I haven't looked at the card yet, though. I'm getting your heart card now. Your heart, to me, feels much lighter than your head. I can say that. There might be a slight bit of confusion in your heart, but it's not like you're, I would say that you're definitely overthinking stuff a little bit. Okay, let's see what your heart has to say. What does her heart have to say? Okay, here's her heart. Okay, now for health. For her health, Renee Lynn's health. Okay, what's going on with your health, Renee? And then your overall energy. What do you mean, Sandra Fagan Frizzell? Ducky, can they read for themselves, or do they have to have someone do it for them? What do you mean? Can you read for yourself, or do you have to have... Oh, okay, so... What's going on, Ducky? What's the WoW 333? Is that my subscribers, or... What's going on? What are you talking about, 333? Is the business page at 333? 2,333? I wasn't supposed to look. Damn it. Alright, so let me flip the camera. I looked at the last card by accident. I wasn't supposed to. Alright, so this is the 4 different cards that I've pulled for you. I'm going to move them around as I show them to you, okay, Renee? But this is what I call, tonight is the Triple H hour, right? It's the How I Can Help hour, so 3 H's. So from that, we did this first reading on the first night where it was head, heart, health, HHH, and then this is an overall energy that is sort of being produced from the mix of these 3, right? Okay, so this would be like your mental body, your spiritual body, your physical body. Okay, so we're going to start with the head card. Oh wow, look who it is. It's the 9 of Wands. So to me, let me move. I'm going to put it here so we can just see it. So with this card, as I'm looking at this now, I know that I gave that long spiel to the previous reading with this card, and it felt very pregnant to me. To me, this card feels much more guarded.
And part of the reason why I'm feeling that guardedness is this sort of fencing here that we see with these eight wands here. To me, it feels like you're in this place of maybe holding back and also keeping yourself sort of guarded and protected right now. This is the element of fire and the element of spirit, right? It's the wands, the suit of wands. To me, when I look at this, I feel like, especially after that shuffle, when I was saying that I felt like that sort of overthinking energy or that sort of heavy energy in the shuffle, to me, it makes me wonder, like, if you're sort of trying to shut out the world so that you can get some clarity right now in your head. I'm more focused, instead of being focused on this like I was in the previous reading, I'm focused more on this fence that you've built here. Like, I feel like there's this wall here that you've kind of put up mentally that you're trying to utilize to keep yourself maybe safe or feeling safer. Does that make sense? And so, as I'm looking at that, you are doing it from a place of sort of self care, but I think that you're sort of shutting yourself off, or trying to guard against something that you maybe fear is going to happen or go wrong, or if I let them in, kind of that's the vibe that I'm getting. If I sort of expose myself to the outside world, I could be harmed. So therefore, I need to sort of put up this fence and show my strength and kind of shore myself up back here. Does that make sense? So I'm going to look at the next couple of cards and I'm going to sort of tie all of this together. This is your heart card. I hold myself sacred. Like a rare and precious piece of punamu. Don't get dirty, people. Punamu is a stone, obviously. Calm down. I value all that I have seen, all that I am, and all I will be. So, I like this as your heart. I love that this, to me, I don't know what punamu is. Oh my god, hashtag Punamu. Anyways, I'm not sure what Punamu is. This is the Song of My Heart Oracle deck, which is a beautiful deck made by an artist in New Zealand. And I can't think of her name right now, but I'm kicking myself in the ass, but I should know it. But this to me speaks to this energy of the heart chakra, this green color, this deep green. The heart chakra is always indicative of the color pink or the color green. And so to me, this feels very much in line, like your heart feels good. I feel like I'm almost kind of getting this impression when I'm looking at these two cards together. Like maybe there's this period where you've kind of had to take a hiatus to protect yourself, to hold yourself sacred, and to sort of love on yourself a little bit. Like the emanation and the strength is coming from your heart. And so your mind, you've kind of had to put these willow branches up to kind of maybe segregate yourself from situations or from worries or from fearful sort of tense situations, right? In an effort to kind of honor yourself and give yourself sort of the healing that you need and deserve, right? So let me see what your health card is. Get clear. We've seen this one before too. It's funny how certain cards show up. So this to me, what is it? Because this one was all about the last time I read this, how it made me feel. And now let me look at this as far as her physical health. All right, where I want to go with this with you, Renee, when I'm looking at all of these cards and sort of the message that's happening in all of them, I want to ask you, what are you doing? The dog's sitting on my feet. What I'm doing, what I want to ask you is, it sort of feels like to me like, have you just come through a big bullshit storm? And the reason why I say that, this Get Clear says to me that this is about taking me time too. Like, this is about taking me time at the physical level and sort of enjoying yourself and sort of what you need and putting yourself first. There seems to be definitely this sort of soul focus, especially in this I hold myself sacred with this Nine of Wands card, and then with this Get Clear, it feels like you're sort of nurturing yourself back to normal, back to peace, back to serenity. And I think that all of this feels very positive and good. It feels like you've maybe had to draw some boundaries and get clear around those boundaries, not only physically, but also mentally. That's this fence that I'm seeing. And you're doing it from this place of heart centered, like holding yourself sacred. Does that make sense? This card, to me, it just speaks to like you taking sort of time out for yourself kind of getting that clearer communication with your physical body. What does your body need? Feeding yourselves right foods, getting good sleep, taking good care of yourself, and kind of, I almost want to say like healing yourself maybe from like a situation that might have given you trouble previously or not been easy for you. Does that make sense? So this last card, Ryan McGraw was subscriber 333. Thank you, Ryan. This last card is your overall energy. And this actually makes sense now because this is rain dance. And when I look at this, it's this woman dancing in this rain, in this sort of puddle, right? Of the rain that's just passed, of the storm that's just passed. To me, it is something that you've just come through. Like this rain dance to me says that like you're still dealing with the emotions that are sitting here in this puddle, represented in this water. They're mirroring back to you what you need to know, but you're actually able to find sort of uh, this woman to me appears to be sort of like a shadow or dark, right? But what you're doing is the clouds have passed away or passed by, and the storm is over, and you might be left with the remnants of the emotions of the situation that you maybe have just come through, but you're healing that for yourself. You're holding yourself sacred, you're getting clear at a physical level, and you're kind of establishing yourself, and you're able to sort of touch base with these emotions and see yourself in the experiences of them, but also like there's this beginnings of like starting to let joy back in that I feel like in this card today. Sometimes she appears like she's running away from a situation, but to me it really feels like she's spinning, pirouetting on like the emotions of her past, on the experiences of her past, on the experiences that maybe were a little bit uh, dark or dismal. You've really done the work, is what I feel like when I look at these four cards. These cards say to me you're sort of still in process. The hard work is sort of really done and solid, and the mind work is really still sort of coming to its sort of finishing touches. And this get clear feels really good too. So to me, it's like you're putting yourself first, and from doing that, that's enabling you to kind of take situations of the past or the emotions of the past that maybe hung heavy or hung maybe weighed you down, and you're finding that lightness again about yourself. That's the overall energy that's happening or starting to transpire. This woman here that we see, like she looks like she's in shadow, she's coming to life again. She's coming back to light. And so, oh, awesome. Thank you. Andrew says, description, punamu, or greenstone in New Zealand English, are several types of hard and durable stone found in southern New Zealand. They are highly valued by the Maori, and hard stone carvings made from punamu play an important role in Maori culture. Awesome. Thank you for that history lesson, Andrew. Can you point to New Zealand on the map? Can you use punamu in a sentence? All right. So to me, I just feel like this is you sort of like almost regaining yourself through maybe a rough situation, and then like doing the work. Um, shut up, Andrew Punani. Doing the work to get yourself there and to really sort of enjoy that and begin to feel that lightness again. Does that make sense? I hope that resonates with you, Renee. I don't know if you have been through maybe a rough patch in, I get a feeling like it was maybe a couple of years ago. I feel like this work has been like a long time coming. Like you've been at this for maybe a year or two. Would that be correct? That's kind of the sense that I'm getting is it's like it feels like you've really put in the work and you're finally starting to get to the end of the tunnel. If that connects with you at all. That's that rain dance card. Is it's like you're finally starting to see the clouds on the horizon clear, and you're coming into the understanding of how valuable your relationship to yourself actually is. And there goes my dog snoring again. Awesome, Renee. Thank you so much. I hope that that makes sense and gives you some validation on the work maybe that you've been doing. Because to me, this feels like significant work in these cards. It's a big deal when people take on, you know, their own healing and allow themselves that as a goal. You know, you're welcome. You're very, very welcome. So, you guys, that was the How I Can Help You Hour. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to King Arthur, Jesse Blah Blah, Kim Kuchler, Karma Grace, Heidi Phillips, Margaret Saunders, Jonas Verhagen. Congratulations on your new baby. And Ryan McGraw. Thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Patience and Lisa and Jen Nichols and Kristen Ravello and everybody who stopped in and said hello. All the names that I didn't get to, I'm sorry, I can't remember each and every one of you, but if you subscribe and continue to come in and tune in, I will get to know you. Again, please subscribe to both platforms. Let your friends know about me. I'm available for private readings. That's all, you know. You can message the business page on Facebook and I can give you information about that. Or, you know, well, that's kind of how it has to go. So that's available to you. There's a morning forecast for those of you that are new. You can tune in every morning. I do an energy forecast for the entire collective of us. So that's available to you. I also have tarot scopes that I put up. The Januaries have been up. I'm getting ready to start create for February for all of the signs. I do have pick of cards on the YouTube channel. Check those out. Give them some views. Leave me some comments. Let me know if they made sense. Be like, I chose group 2 and you were so fucking wrong, Taropra. I want a free card. Or you could be like, oh my god, Taropra, it was like you were in my closet staring out at me like Michael Myers, bitch. How did you know all that? You can say that around here. You're still spiritual if you use the word bitch. Did you know that? Bitch can be a term of endearment. At least in my lexicon it is. I don't know. I try not to take myself too seriously. You're welcome. Andrew says, thanks to Taropra. I love Taropra. I need to start fucking hashtagging the shit out of that on Instagram. I'm owning Taropra. She is like, I need to get some shit together right now. I need Taropra. Oh my god, how stupid. Let's see, can I do... Oh, you can follow me on Instagram at Engelgeist333. I need followers over there. I'm not a very good Instagrammer. Oh, one of the dogs just farted. Help! I shouldn't have given them that pizza crust. I was trying to be a good daddy. No bueno. Alright, you guys, thank you all for tuning in. I will see you all soon. I need to find a great picture so I can go tag Taropra. You get a card, you get a card, you get a card. And I will see you all. I'll see you all soon. I love you guys. Alright, bye-bye.